So starting from this part, I plan to break my teaching videos into two parts. This video is about the vocabulary that you can see from page 29 to 33. And then you will have another video about the plot and characters. The reason why I do this because if I include both the vocabulary and the plot and characters in one video, the video is gonna be very long. So I want to make this video short so it's easier for you to watch and learn. So we're going to look into the difficult vocabulary in this part, page 29 to 33. So get your book ready. So if you still remember before this part, Sheila actually said she didn't understand the inspector. And so the inspector replied here, there was no reason why you should. Alright, so now is the beginning of the part where Mrs. Sperling entered the room and first talked to the inspector. Here are some words that I want you to pay attention to. Number one, dubiously. Dubiously. It means with doubt that the inspector suspect the action. Okay, so dubiously means you doubt something, you don't believe in something. And then the second one, briskly. Briskly. So briskly means Mrs. Sperling actually entered the room with so much energy, very active. Okay, and you will also see the change of her attitude before she met the inspector and after she talked to the inspector. Okay, so in the beginning, Mrs. Sperling was really energetic and she was active, so briskly. And the third word here is hesitantly. Hesitantly means you have question, you doubt as well, so you do not want to do it. You're not willing to do it, so your action is really slow. So this is how Sheila actually said this line. Hesitantly. I know it sounds silly, so slowly questioning and not willing to say this whole thing. All right? And then the story continues and we'll look into these three words here. So the first one, impressionable. Impressionable means if someone is impressionable, it means he or she can be impressed or influenced easily, can be changed by someone else very easily. So normally the young ones, they're more impressionable. It means they're more easily influenced. Their mind, their thinking can be changed easily. Okay? And then number two, absurd. Absurd. It means unreasonable, illogical, inappropriate, crazy. Is that a normal idea? Okay, absurd. And number three, morbid. Morbid curiosity. So morbid here means disturbing, unpleasant. So it's not something that you want. If you say morbid curiosity, so this curiosity is definitely negative. It's not a good thing. Okay? So Mrs. Sperling continues to argue a little bit with Sheila and also the inspector. And in this part, there are several words that I want you to pay attention to. Number one, contradict. Contradict. It means it goes against, the opposite. Okay, so if you contradict me, meaning that your idea is opposite from mine. Okay, and then the second one, haughtily. Haughtily. So it means arrogantly. So if someone is haughtily, doing an action haughtily, it means that that person is very arrogant, showing off his authority and power. Okay, and then the next one, plainly. Plainly. It means without any emotions. No emotions, very straightforward. So from the tone, you cannot identify my feelings. So it's plainly. And then the next one, trivial. Trivial means disrespect. It's actually really similar to the next word, impertinent. Impertinent. It means rude. So if Mrs. Sperling is saying that I consider is a trivial impertinent inspector, it means really, really, really extremely rude. Okay? So when you put these two words together, trivial means disrespect, impertinent means rude. Okay? Putting them together means it's extremely rude. So when Sheila hears Mrs. Sperling saying that the inspector is rude, then Sheila gives short hysterical laugh. So hysterical means crazy. I think you've seen this word in Act 1 already. And then the next one that I want you to look at would be take offense. Take offense. It means you're upset, you're angry. So if you mean that the inspector will take offense, it means the inspector will be upset. Okay, so after the people all say that they're not upset, so it's not about taking offense or not, then Mrs. Berlin continues her speech. So here there are some words I want you to look into. The first one, rebuking. So rebuking them means showing disapproval. So in the previous part, Gerald, Sheila, they start to talk, and Mrs. Berlin now is showing disapproval, not agreeing with them, rebuking. Okay, the second one, peculiar means strange. And then magistrate means like the judge in the law court. So Mrs. Berlin is trying to show off Mr. Berlin's social status by saying that he's still a magistrate, so he's still a judge in a law court. And then the next one, imperturbable. It means that this person is really calm, really calm. So even Mrs. Berlin is trying to threaten the inspector can still be very calm. Imperturbable. And then the next part, I have 3 words that I want you to pay attention to. Number 1, pretenses. So it's the noun of pretend. So Sheila is asking Mrs. Berlin not to pretend that she doesn't know anything. So pretenses. And then the next word, steadily. Steadily means very constantly, regularly. Okay, so saying that Eric is drinking too much steadily means always, regularly, constantly. Okay, and then Mrs. Berlin is staggered. It means that he is very shocked. So now they're all talking about Eric's drinking problem, and Charles says, I have gathered that he does drink pretty hard. So I have gathered here means he has gathered information, so he has heard from people. Okay, so this is what it means. And then Mrs. Berlin, bitterly means she's upset. So she says, oh, this is the time that you choose to tell me. So she's really upset. And then in Sheila's speech, bear means it's hard to accept the fact, the truth. Okay, bear means accept. And then the last one I want you to take a look would be the word gravely. It means seriously. So the inspector speaks seriously. So the last part of these few pages would be here. 2 words, 1 word and one phrase. The first one, let, it means young man. Okay, and the second one will be give you much more rope. It means giving you opportunity. So if you say, oh, I have given you rope, it means I've given you opportunity. So that's it. These are the words that I want you to learn from these pages. Thanks for watching.